we'll go ahead and say the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need approval of agenda, so would someone like to move to approve the agenda as posted? Someone? Moved by Lindsay, need a second? Second by Joel. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. So we move on to the approval of consent agenda items 7 through 9. The only thing of note is in the request to hire. It will include everyone listed but Gretchen Beamer. That is the only adjustment. Unless there's any other discussions, I will entertain a motion to approve consent agenda items 7 through 9 as noted. Second. Any discussion?
I just want to know how I got on approval of bills for the 4th month in a row because I did not come.
Okay.
I didn't come because I was like, why did the last 2 months? So I didn't even look at it, so I'm sorry.
Okay. So
I didn't do mine a couple of months ago, so I just didn't.
Oh, thanks. We can switch.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
What was the reasoning for the co-head coaches of wrestling?
They've been working on that for sure for last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, both are wanting to do that.
There's a lot of them.
Okay, all right, so we'll move on to hearing of delegations and written communications. School patrons will be given the opportunity to address the school board regarding items that are not on the agenda. The board will not hear personal complaints about the staff. The president or vice president will limit speakers to a reasonable amount of time. Persons addressing the board are asked to speak from the table at the front, in front of the board. Is there anyone who would like to speak to the board? Seeing none, we'll go on to the administrator's report.
Today was day 1 of in-service. Well, the principals look like they survived. That's a good thing. So they're smiling. Well, I was smiling, but they're moving.
They're here.
They're here. Building update. A few things to be done yet. In the middle school renovation part, the boys' bathroom, we ordered partitions from between the urinals, and we knew a while back they weren't going to get in until September. Window treatments, 2 to 3 weeks out, it sounds like. You know, they've been selected and will get installed once they get in. Door hardware, again, we knew that was going to be a while out because of the number that we're doing. In the meantime, like in the SEC room, there will be temporary hardware that's in place. We have hardware in all of our doors. We just don't have updated locking from the inside type of hardware. So that'll be coming, I believe it was October. With the change in the middle school and the SEC room, we have 3 new doors. Again, they've been on order. This takes a while to get them. So there are temporary doors in there right now in the meantime. Metal doors that are in there. Staff workroom replacement sink. Well, they got the sink, put it in there, but it's too big a sink, so the handicap shroud that goes in the front it hits the sink. So they'll be getting a different sink once that gets in. They'll get switched out and we'll have that in place. Those are the main things with that part. The outside, I think last I looked, were 6 days of weather that they may adjust the schedule, but 6 days because of the rain we've had, where they couldn't do some outside work. That all otherwise remains pretty much on target. In-service started today. In-service is today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Open house is Thursday and Friday this week for all of our buildings. First day of school for the 25-26 school year is next Tuesday, the 19th. We have practices started. Echoes. Football started, cross country started, tennis has started, golf has started, I believe. I know, I just looked that direction, because, you know, I figured you had it memorized from years past.
Yep, football,
Volleyball starts Thursday. Girls tennis will have their first match on the 15th at Aberdeen. Boys golf will be at home on the 21st, cross country at home on the 28th, volleyball at home on the 28th, and football. We start off with a little road trip out to Belfourche, out to Belfouche on the 29th. So, up and going the spirit of Madison Marching Band. They'll have some, I'm sure, at our football, but as far as on the calendar, then the 13th of September, DSU homecoming will be their first marching. And that's where we're at today. We're still looking to hire, I believe, a 3/4 time for the credit recovery room. Still looking for the driver for Sioux Falls route. So I know we've got some maps, so we'll see if we can get that in place yet this week.
Thank you for the report. Do you have anything for us, Mitch? Okay, all right. So we'll go ahead to item number 12, which is consider approval of open enrollment applications for 2610, 2611, 2613, and 2614.
And I would recommend approving all of those enrollments.
Okay.
They're all actually, 3 of them are actually in the high school grades, 1 is in the middle school grade.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion?
You know, 2612.
We approved that last
We
week.
did that last month, yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Joel and seconded by Jordan. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, the South Dakota Comprehensive Plan.
And the only change, this is a yearly requirement, the only change in it is on page 11, where there's a time frame that changes from 90 days to 30 days. That's because of a codified law that changed this year, that changed it from 90 days to 30 days. So that's the only change in the entire document, is the 90 to 30 day requirement that was changed by the codified law this year.
Entertain a motion to approve the South Dakota Comprehensive Plan. Moved by Lindsay, seconded by Joel. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Number 14 is to review the handbooks of the high school, middle school, and elementary school.
So which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with the high school.
Okay. I'll let Mr. Johnson address any places where there may have been a update or a change. Everything else remained the same. Do you have those pages by chance, Mr.?
I do not offhand, I apologize.
Can you slide that down?
Anything that's highlighted in green.
Okay.
Let me make it a little.
Maybe you can make it a little bigger, Dan?
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, go back up. There you go. So that highlighted area was something that we added, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was just to make sure it was clear that some are just gonna think they're gonna go and do online no matter what. They have to be approved that we're gonna allow that in certain areas. And that was something that was started last year. We just put in there now, so it would also be in place for the, let me make sure I say it right, fall formal, right? Fall formal and brown.
One more. Did I go past it?
I don't think so.
Nope, okay, there we go.
25.
Nice try.
And this you can mention.
Yeah, and so the change in the state law for the dropout age being 17, just changing it in our policy. I believe you're looking at it at a board policy as well, so just to make sure that they're the same.
Yeah.
Is that it? I believe that was it.
The only thing I noted from my end is that the library on page 12, number 13, is that the South Dakota Library Network is no longer an entity. And I suggested that you work with Amanda on updating that section. So that's the only thing I got to note there.
Yep, and Mrs. Hall's already
aware.
working on that. Yep.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
So the middle school.
So page 3, so with Mr. Cook, when he was here, he always had the same theme every year, which was do the right thing, do your best, treat others with respect. I'm going away from that a little bit, and I'm going to try and come up with a yearly theme that we kind of revolve around. This year, I go back.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
This year, with the construction going on, I thought a good theme would be based on construction, so laying the foundation for the future. That's just a letter to parents, kind of talking about welcoming them back to the middle school. If you go down a page, to page 4, I did foundations for a successful middle school student and some of the areas that students, can, if they want to be successful, these are areas and bullet points of things that they can do to be a successful middle school student. Page 5, I think this actually was probably there last year, but I wanted to make sure. This mirrors the high school. Students must be in attendance by 9 a.m. on the day of an activity or have prior approval from the administration to participate in an evening activity. And the reason I think it's important to mirror is because we have middle school athletes who participate in high school activities, and so we just want to mirror that so that they know that they have to abide by those same rules, just like they have to do with eligibility rules. And then the big change for the middle school this year is on page 8. We are going to add cell phone caddies into all the classrooms. Students will check in their cell phones into the teacher in a caddy. Teachers all have those at the start of class. At the end of class, they get them back. I am going to allow them to have them during passing time. They have not had that privilege in the past, but it's kind of a reward for turning them in. They get them during noontime. They also get them during noontime activities, but they do not have them at all during class. If there's a violation, some of the violations would be refusal to turn in their phone, turning in a fake phone, tampering with another student's phone. The consequences are similar to last year. I did change them a little bit. So first offense, cell phone will be turned in the office for the remainder of that school day. Parents will be notified. Second offense, they get a noontime detention. Cell phone is turned into the office each day for 5 days. And then students not turning on the cell phone in days will be added. And the third and subsequent offenses, students get 2 noontime detentions. The cell phone is turned to the office each day for 10 school days. Those consequences are a little different than the high school, but the policy of the cell phone and cell phone caddies are the same.
Which I think is good, because I still think even though we have one in place, I still think the state is toying with the idea of implementing mandating something.
Okay.
Janelle, you're next.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying with the cell phone.
Yeah.
Your kids are gonna
I
start.
actually have a little clarifier for you guys. The cell phones aren't my biggest deal, but I've got a kind of a, Janelle has a thing about those. So organizational was a piece of it. I just always like my handbook to run alphabetically. So there's a little bit of adjustment in that, but that doesn't impact what's in the content. A piece that we have a small change is right there, just because of how communication has changed. We'll accept a physical note, message, an app, phone call. So we'll take pretty much any communication a parent or household would give us about why their child was absent. We just have to have that they were, otherwise they become an unexcused absence.
there a specific app that you guys have that is school-wide that is being used?
They can message through Thrill Share.
Yeah, they can message through Thrill Share. The elementary teachers use Remind app. Oftentimes, they can email us. We also have a Seesaw and Google Classroom. The grade levels kind of select. The Remind app is probably most widely used just because it is so fast. It goes on their cell phones, which is why it's not the official school, because they're not our cell phones. But we really want that open communication. I mean, they're still always welcome to just give us a call.
Okay, thank you.
It's a W, I think.
Okay.
So what it's going to talk about is the addition of win time. And win time in the elementary is an acronym for what I need. And through the title funds and some grant application last year, we implemented what I need as a part of title, but we were also able to integrate it across the elementary curriculum. We used benchmarks and test data to benchmark them and then give 20 minutes of direct skills-based instruction for all elementary kids, K through 5. And when you asked me about cell phones, I didn't really give a big update there, but I am preparing a message to parents.
It's on page 16 down.
Yeah, gizmos are the watches and gizmos, because it's not that they even necessarily are messaging their child to tell them what they're going to do, but because they're wearing them, a lot of times my kids won't play at recess. They'll text and then they text their 4 people, Mom, Dad, Aunt Christelle, and so I want kids to play. So we're putting those in the book bags, which parents are usually receptive to, but I think they don't think about it when, why is my 8-year-old texting me? What are you doing? When they should be playing. And I think, I never have any of those questions or comments when I let parents know that. The only question that ever comes from cell phones and phones in the elementary is when they forget them and they're tracking their kids. And that they should be on the bus or headed home and it looks like they're still in school or on the playground or lost. So, last for the win.
Are there any other comments?
Excuse me.
Seeing none, I'd just like to thank you guys all for being here and updating us on changes that you've made. They're all good things that are moving us forward, so I appreciate that very much. We'll move on to 15, which is our second reading of board policies, DFE, gate receipts, admissions and participation fees, and JEA, compulsory school attendance.
And DFE, no changes from last month. It's just a new requirement that we have to accept cash as well as other forms. So we're putting it in our policies that that's what we do, even though we've been doing it anyway. We'll put it in there that that's what we'll do now. So no change there. And the second one's one that Dr. Johnson talked about, the new compulsory. So some of it we used to have, we took it out, we just put in all of the rewording from ASBSD, even though about half it was what we already had in there. Rather than try to piecemeal, we just cleaned it all up. It just refers to the different options now as far as compulsory attendance that are required or that are in state statute. I would recommend that we would approve those.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve the second reading of the board policies, DFE, gate receipts, admissions and participation fees, and JEA, compulsory school attendance.
Will this be the final reading then?
Yep, second reading, title reading, and adoption.
So
If there was something in there that we want to change, we could always run it hold for another month. But I would recommend that they're in the form that they're going to be in unless there's something that's going to change.
Nope, just making sure we didn't have to have a third reading.
Nope.
So,
To make a change, then we have to have a third.
we're good.
So I have a motion by Lindsay
Second.
and a second by Joel. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. So with that, we're on to the adjournment of the regular meeting. So thank you, Jordan. Can you give a second?
Second.
Joel, thank you very much. With that, we conclude the meeting.